Why did you tell reporters last time out that you were going to retire after this fight?
Because I am. I want to be left alone to live my normal little life, going to school, doing the bins, going to the tip, getting a haircut. There'll be no more fight.
The story begins around the end of 2021. At that point, Tyson Fury was riding high on the wave of success after concluding his thrilling trilogy with Deontay Wilder. His victory in the third fight cemented his legacy as one of the greatest heavyweights of his era. Fans were ecstatic. Fury's larger-than-life persona, combined with his undeniable talent, made him a magnet for attention. He was on top of the boxing world, and it felt like nothing could knock him down. But as they say, the higher the pedestal, the harder the fall. The Dillian Whyte saga. After the Wilder trilogy, it was time for Fury to fulfill his mandatory obligations. Enter Dillian Whyte, a hard-hitting contender who had been waiting patiently for his shot at the world title. Fans were excited about the matchup. Whyte, known for his grit and determination, was the perfect foil for Fury's flamboyant personality. The build-up was intense, and Fury's UK fanbase was thrilled by the prospect of seeing their hero fight at Wembley Stadium. A glorious homecoming for the Gypsy King. However, the negotiations were anything but smooth. Fury initially offered Whyte a 20% split of the purse, which led to a standoff. Whyte felt the offer was unfair, and tensions escalated. Fury, ever the showman, dismissed Whyte's complaints, saying, "That's all you're worth, big boy." Eventually, the deal was finalized, but the rocky negotiations left a sour taste for some fans. For the first time since his return to glory, Fury began to show signs of being difficult to work with, a stark contrast to the man who once won fans over with his humility and resilience. A homecoming to remember, or was it? Despite the drama, the fight was finally set. Fury promised his fans he was done with fighting in the US and was bringing his talents back to the UK. Wembley Stadium was the chosen venue, and fans couldn't wait. For many, this felt like Fury giving back to his loyal supporters. But behind the scenes, there was speculation about the real reason for Fury's return to the UK. Reports suggested that his alleged ties to controversial figure Daniel Kinahan had made it difficult for him to re-enter the US. All these rumors swirled. Fans brushed them aside, eager to see their hero in action. The fight itself was a spectacle. Fury delivered a dominant performance, stopping Whyte in the 6th round with a devastating uppercut. The victory should have been a crowning moment, but cracks were beginning to show. The bombshell announcement. Just before the Whyte fight, Fury dropped a bombshell. He claimed it would be his last. Fans were stunned. The Gypsy King really retiring? This wasn't the first time Fury had teased retirement, but many took his announcement seriously. After all, he had achieved everything there was to achieve in boxing. But Fury's retirement didn't last long. Shortly after the fight, he began hinting at a return, leaving fans feeling confused and, in some cases, frustrated. This back and forth would become a recurring theme, with Fury making bold claims and then backtracking on them. The fall from grace. As the months went on, Fury's behavior became increasingly erratic. His social media outbursts, once entertaining, began to feel tiresome. He started to alienate fans with his unpredictable announcements and lack of follow-through. Promises of big fights, such as a long-awaited clash with Anthony Joshua, fell apart during negotiations, with Fury often blaming others for the failures. At the same time, Fury's public image took a hit. His association with Kinahan, though never officially proven to involve wrongdoing, raised eyebrows. Coupled with his abrasive approach to negotiations and constant self-promotion, fans started to see a different side of the Gypsy King.
Anthony Joshua, I'd like to give you an opportunity to fight me for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Didn't like as much. The turning point. The breaking point for many came during Fury's negotiations for fights in late 2022 and 2023. The Gypsy King, once a fan favorite, began to be perceived as more concerned with his paycheck than with delivering the fights fans wanted to see. His claims of being the biggest draw on the planet started to ring hollow when fights failed to materialize. By this point, Fury's fan base was deeply divided. Some remained loyal, citing his incredible achievements and entertaining personality. Others felt betrayed, tired of the endless drama and empty promises. Where does Fury go from here? So, what's next for Tyson Fury? Can he repair his relationship with fans, or is the damage done? The Gypsy King remains one of the most talented and charismatic fighters of his generation, but his actions outside the ring have left a lasting impact. Fury's story serves as a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the world of sports. One moment, you're on top of the world. The next, you're fighting to win back the very people who once adored you. Only time will tell if Tyson Fury can reclaim his throne. Not just in the ring, but in the hearts of fans
after this fight.
Because I am. I want to be left alone to live my normal little life, going to school, doing the bins.
Let's be honest, Tyson Fury doesn't need a haircut to stay relevant. He's already a master of keeping the spotlight on himself. After his emphatic knockout of Dillian Whyte, Fury declared he was done with boxing, and his interview with Piers Morgan seemed to confirm it. He was adamant that his time in the ring was over. But come on, we all know Tyson's a joker. Fans rolled their eyes and said, "Yeah, sure, Tyson. We'll see you back in no time." And lo and behold, just a few months later, Fury started making noise about a return. This came smack in the middle of the build-up to Anthony Joshua's rematch with Oleksandr Usyk. True to his style, Fury chose this moment to stir the pot, shifting attention to himself. He didn't just talk about a return, he made headlines with wild challenges. He called out Thor Bjornsson, teased a fight with Derek Chisora, and even dragged Manuel Charr into the mix. Yes, Manuel Charr, out of nowhere. Then, just as quickly as he'd announced his comeback, he retired again. All of this happened within weeks, leaving boxing fans utterly baffled. Still, the heavyweight division rolled on, with Joshua falling short once more in a masterful display by Usyk. Despite AJ's post-fight frustrations, he still managed to end the night with a solid speech and a few hip-hip hoorays to lighten the mood. By September, Fury officially announced his return to boxing. Naturally, fans were thrilled, as
I've got some massive news coming. An imminent fight date.
this seemed to set the stage for the most anticipated fight in heavyweight boxing, Fury versus Usyk for the undisputed title. It was the perfect fight to cement Fury's legacy. A clash between the unbeaten Gypsy King and the brilliant Ukrainian technician. Unfortunately, things didn't progress as smoothly as fans had hoped. After the grueling fight against Joshua, and a tough year for his war-torn homeland, Usyk needed time to recover. Fury, however, wasted no time in seizing the narrative. He launched into his usual antics, accusing Usyk of ducking him and throwing out his signature trash talk to keep the hype alive. With Usyk taking a well-deserved break, Fury needed a warm-up fight. What happened next caught everyone by surprise. Fury called out Anthony Joshua. Despite Joshua coming off 2 consecutive losses, the fight still had massive appeal. Fury versus AJ was the dream match for British boxing fans. A clash of 2 huge personalities and 2 of the biggest names in the sport. The back-and-forth negotiations for Fury versus Joshua captivated fans, even as frustrations mounted. Fury set deadlines, threw out insults, and kept the drama alive, all while the deal seemed to hang by a thread. Ultimately, the fight didn't materialize, leaving fans feeling strung along once again. Fury's unpredictable behavior, retirements, comebacks, and endless challenges has kept fans on their toes, but it's also tested their patience. Whether it's legacy fights, stay-busy bouts, or headline-grabbing antics, the Gypsy King knows how to keep the world talking. The question is, can he deliver the fights that truly matter? Only time will tell. Let's not beat around the bush. Tyson Fury's negotiation tactics have left fans frustrated and bewildered. After the much-anticipated Fury versus Joshua fight fell apart, the heavyweight division was once again thrown into chaos. Fury initially offered a 60-40 split, which seemed fair, but he wanted the fight to take place in November, a tight turnaround for Joshua, who was coming off his grueling bout with Usyk. Then came the deadlines. Fury imposed one after another, giving fans a headache and making negotiations an unnecessary circus. When the fight finally collapsed, fans were left devastated. The dream matchup of 2 British heavyweights was gone, leaving everyone pointing fingers. Whether you blamed Fury, Joshua, or their respective teams, one thing was clear. The process had been a mess. Was there really any need for all those deadlines? Did Fury have to make negotiations so unbearable, just when fans thought things couldn't? Get more disappointing, Fury announced his next fight. To the dismay of many, it was a trilogy bout against Derek Chisora, a fighter Fury had already beaten twice. The announcement was met with confusion and frustration. Why was the man widely regarded as the best heavyweight on the planet fighting? Someone considered far past his prime? As predicted, the fight was a one-sided affair, with Fury dominating Chisora. The consensus among fans was that the fight had been little more than a payday for Chisora, courtesy of his old mate Fury. Despite the disappointment, fans tried to remain optimistic. Surely the next fight would be for the undisputed title. The Fury Usyk. The saga surrounding Fury and Oleksandr Usyk was a drama that dragged on endlessly. Saudi Arabia, known for its deep pockets and willingness to host massive boxing events, seemed like the obvious venue. Things didn't go as planned. Reports suggested that Fury had priced himself out of the Saudi deal, shifting negotiations to Wembley. Then came more hurdles. Fury demanded an arguably unfair 70-30 split, but to everyone's surprise, Usyk accepted. However, the rematch clause became the next sticking point. Arguments over the rematch split caused further delays, and while Usyk showed some stubbornness, it was clear Fury's demands were the bigger obstacle. As the proposed fight date of April 29th approached, the writing was on the wall. Negotiations broke down entirely, with Usyk walking away from the table. Fury, unsurprisingly, claimed innocence, releasing a video rant where he insulted Usyk, calling him a coward and questioning his willingness to fight. But this time, fans weren't buying it. Fury's credibility took a massive hit as yet another high-profile fight fell through. False promises and lost patience. Fury attempted to regain fan interest with cryptic social media posts, teasing massive news and an imminent fight announcement. But these claims turned out to be nothing more than empty promises. Through Simon Jordan, it was revealed that Saudi Arabia had been working on a mega event featuring Fury, Usyk, Joshua, and Wilder. While the other fighters showed interest, Fury's antics and unwillingness to compromise seemingly derailed the plan. Since then, Fury has been left scrambling for opponents. Names like Dempsey McKean and cruiserweight Jai Opetaia have been floated, but none have generated excitement among fans. Fury's behavior, combined with a series of underwhelming fights and failed negotiations, has left many questioning whether he's still the dominant force in the heavyweight division, or simply a master of self-sabotage. The Gypsy King's legacy as a fighter remains secure, but his reputation outside the ring is on shaky ground. Fans are growing tired of the endless drama, and unless Fury delivers a truly meaningful fight soon, his standing among boxing enthusiasts may continue. Tyson Fury's fall from fan favor and the state of his career. Fury has also been quick to call out other big names like Francis Ngannou and John Jones from time to time. However, these challenges have become increasingly meaningless due to their limited skills in boxing. The latest attempt to get an Anthony Joshua fight off the ground was completely dismissed, because AJ simply isn't interested in dealing with all the drama. Joshua, who truly needs one more defining fight before facing a showdown in December, wasn't willing to engage with Fury's circus act. To be fair, Fury has been the one to sabotage opportunities with AJ. He botched the negotiations for a deal in 2021 and effectively derailed any chance of a fight in 2022. So what would be the point now? It seems Fury is stuck in limbo, caught between talk and action, without any real direction. Despite all of this, Fury hasn't lost all of his fans. His die-hard supporters remain loyal, but he has undoubtedly worn thin the patience of the wider boxing community who simply want to see the best fights, free from politics and drama. There's no doubt that Fury is an exceptional fighter, an entertaining speaker, and a showman. But his mouth, which has been in overdrive these last few years, has caused him more harm than good. It's reached the point where even his promoter, Frank Warren, can hardly take him seriously anymore. Fury says things like, "I signed the contract today, the fight's on," only to flip the script the next day and demand ridiculous sums like $500 million. A quick look at the comments under any Fury post on social media reveals the widespread frustration. Fans are tired of his erratic behavior and inconsistent promises. For the first time, he's even being outdone at his own game. Trash talk. Team Usyk has repeatedly ridiculed him, and the consensus now is that Fury prefers easy, high-paying bouts over challenging fights, which seriously damages his legacy. It's a real shame, because Tyson Fury had the potential to be remembered as one of the all-time greats in boxing. However, let's not forget where Fury came from. He fought his way back from the depths, physically and mentally, to defeat the hardest hitter in the division, Deontay Wilder. He dethroned the reigning champion, Vladimir Klitschko, and proved he could conquer the odds. All of this is what makes his recent actions so disappointing. But perhaps there's still hope for him to change the narrative. If he manages to return in glorious fashion for an almighty showdown against Usyk at the end of the year, it could go a long way toward restoring his reputation. If he does, all the drama and missteps of the past few years may be forgotten. Whether he will deliver the fight fans crave is anyone's guess. I, for one, really hope he does. Here's hoping Fury finally proves he is truly the greatest of his era.